Welcome to Trading Lounge for the 20th of May, starting with the ASX on the daily chart here. Not a lot of change. It does appear that the market is being driven by resources, in iron ore in particular. When you look at BHP and Rio and iron ore that's traded in China. So yeah, look, as I've mentioned before, we're looking for 1 and 2 here, and then from 2 here, 5 waves up of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 3. And then back over here for wave 4 here. The only problem with this that I can see is that from wave 4 here to wave 5 here, we've got 1 and 2 and 3, and this wave 4 here certainly overlaps wave 1 here, and that's breaking Elliott rules. But the other thing here is that the only other count that I can see here that would be valid would be having wave 4 all the way over here, and then this would be an A wave here, 3 waves in a B wave, and a C wave coming down here as wave 4 here, and then going up for wave 5. The thing is that it would still leave me in the same position though, with this blue wave 5 here and green orange wave 3 here. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, it does and it doesn't. Our target has been the 65 for some time now. The little move that we've got up here is 3 waves so far. So let's go in and have a look at that. But the target being the 6.5 here, still a long way to go, but we need to take out the tops here. So the 6,400 is going to be a bit of a resistance there. So there's the 6.5, we're at the 6.4, the old high here. Double tops are not the end of a sort of campaign. The only way that this could expand more here is that because this is in 3 waves here, it could be an A and a B and a C wave to this particular point here, and then that would give us 5 waves down to this point. So we would have here an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave over here. So yeah, it's got to be a little bit mindful of that. But let's just go and have a little look at some more detail here and look at a strategy to help us with that. So at this stage here, last time we spoke, we were counting from wave 4 here, we were counting up for 1 and back for 2, and then 1 and 2. Nice strong third of a third wave through here. This is the high here with an ABC. Looking for wave 4 to pull back. It pulled back a little bit further than the 38.2% retracement level that we were talking about, but still it's still okay in that space there. So we should see this move up into this space here. It's still going to be a little bit choppy here. We don't seem to have a lot of the other markets around the world. The DAX some of the European markets are okay. The US markets can be a little bit more bearish, but we should see the market push up into group 1 here of 64 here, so 10, 20 and 30 into this space here, and then see some sort of consolidation here, and then wave 5 pushing up into that space there. So if you're long, then really at this stage the stop needs to be under wave could be brought up under wave 4 here, because if we look at the 38.2% retracement level from here to the top of the third wave just here, that brings us down to a 50%. So last 38 is close to 40, so from 40 to 50 here, not a big deal, but we wouldn't want to see it come down any lower than that, you know. So the stop can go under there if you're long at that particular point there. And you know, I'm not really, you know, we'll look for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up into this space here. We should see a classic trading levels pattern across the 64 here. So you know what the classic trading levels pattern is. It's the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, then an A and a B and a C wave here, and then up from there. And then we can look at, you know, different ways of entering, you know, through here, but we need that. Markets are trends and corrections of different degrees, and this is what we're looking at in this space here. Alrighty, let's have a look at some of the other markets. So I might just start with the A50 here, China. So with this market here on the hourly chart here, we're looking at it's a bit of a dog's breakfast, this particular pattern here, but last time we spoke we were looking for a move up that could possibly come up to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here. It's or the 38.2%, so I need to take it from this here because this is the B wave here, so we need to take it from here. So 38 point, well, yeah, so it's doing all the right things here. This doesn't look like an impulse wave up here, but it should be in terms of what we're looking at here. So so this market should work lower. Let's just have a little look at this a bit better here. Yeah, it's not that clear for me here either, but what we can do from this last length here to this one here, we can look at, this is where the support's going to come into play here for this market, so in this space here. So anywhere from here, then we will be able to see a move back up to, let's just take that down a little bit. What numbers have we got here? I'm just looking at this here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here somewhere. But this will leave us back up into this space here. I'll just put this in roughly, but we can adjust this here. So this can finish off down here and then have an A and a B and a C back up to this space here. Like I said, it doesn't appear to be impulsive here, so it's likely to turn at that stage and come further down in 5 waves here, down into our other target area here. If I'm wrong here, then that's okay, because we would need to see support on the 13,000 here, and obviously I looked at it here maybe as well, but yeah, we don't need to worry about that. But if we do get the same thing goes here again, if it comes back up here, we'll need to see a pattern like this here, and then we can go along from there. But without that, or something similar to that, we can't go along here. It's just pointless. So if it does appear to be 5 waves down through to here, so we'll let it finish, and if we end up back up here, then this will give us a short trade through this direction through here. And of course that will take Hong Kong with it as well. So when we're looking at Hong Kong here, so from the top here I was looking at an A wave, a B wave and a C wave down here. So we're counting 5 waves down in terms of 1 and 2 here, and 5 waves down for the 3rd wave, A, B, C for the 4th here. And now we're seeing an impulse wave down here by the looks of it as well. So 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 5, so a little bit more to go through here. It may not pull all the way back up to the 50-60% mark, but still, in terms of a short trade, let's just it'll be down here somewhere. There'll be some sort of thing here where it can't find support here, like that, and then we can look at going short at that point there, and we'll come down further at that point. So yeah, that's sort of how that's going to play out, I'd imagine. Once again, that also there too, you know, once we got that first high, we're working with number 8 here, so minor trading level 8. So if we do get a support on here, that first high here, then that'll come for the catalyst to the upside there if we get that first high. So we're just working with the low or the high here at a level to get the next trend direction. And those patterns, you know, there's a lot really behind them as well, because it takes the volume to create that, and also the Elliott pattern or any sort of pattern. So yeah, as simple as it is, there's complexity behind it and reasoning behind it. So We'll just wait for those to fall into place, and also India as well. Always doing something different, India. So I was looking down for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. I know that there's normally a relationship between the A wave and the C wave here, but in this case, there can be a relationship in Fibonacci here, but we're getting in, we're stretching it a little bit. So this move up through here so far, I was looking for it to come up to here. If we look at this as a third wave down here, we're looking for a fourth wave to pull back to the 38.2%, or the fourth wave of one lesser degree, but it's pulled up higher than that. But let's just go and have a look at this on the hourly chart. I've seen this before where it tries to retest. It goes higher than the 38.2, the 40%, and ends up at the 50% or even higher. But it's doing so to retest a particular price point. And in this one here, we've got the medium level here of 11.5. So unless this 11.5 becomes the support here, then we don't have a safe trade here. You could already be in here because we were short and we're flipping to go long, and we've done the right things, but there's no safety here really until we've got the 11,500 as support. So going into the hourly chart here where we keep our trades, so we'd been short and taking profit on the way down. We've been stopped out here, and you may be tripped in to be long here, but I have to point out that this is the critical point here, because we could look at this as an A wave and a B wave and a C wave and have that wave 4 in there now. So if I just copy that text there for a moment. So that can be wave 4 here, or we can have it up for wave 1 and back for wave 2 here and up for wave 3 here. I just don't know. All I can do, because I can count the 5 waves in here, so that's all done and dusted in here, but I just need to see something. I just need to see more price action now to establish, you know, what we've actually got here now. So if it was going to be a bullish pattern here, then what we could do is if we looked at this as 1 and 2 here and 3 here, then of course we could take this low here and that high here, and we could look at the 38.2% retracement level here. So this is the sort of pattern here that we need to go to the long side here, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, correction, and we're good to go at that point. That's what we're looking for on the long side here. Also, 2 on the long side, that's the 38.2% retracement. So we can come down to this point here, and that's a nice floor here for these old consolidations here, and then push up into this space. Now that would be helpful. That would give us a bullish, another high above here. I think that's, I'd have to pull this apart. I'd have to pull that apart on the tick chart here. It may even go up here first before it comes back. So just be mindful of that, and you would need to adjust the 38.2% retracement level at that point there. But at this stage here, if this market came down to the 61.8% mark below here, because this could be up for 1, back for 2, up for 1, back for 2, and building that way. So it's really only at this point here, if I copy that, it's only at this point here that we can say that this is going to collapse, and we're going to get the 5th leg to the downside here at that point. Okay, so we've got a little bit of work to do here, and patience. Not doing anything is also work as well. We just really need to allow this to play out here. That's all I can say on this one. Yeah. Alrighty, that's it. So thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the day. Cheers.